My name is Carrie Schuschard, and I am here today with my husband John. We are co-founders of the House of Peace in Ipswich, Massachusetts. I am here in an attempt to be a voice for the voiceless, with tremendous sense of urgency for the injured children and the refugees with whom we share our community life, those whose tears and laughter embrace us every day. I have come with a fear that their voices will not be heard, with the hope that you will respond to their pleas. I am asking for senators of conscience and compassion to take legislative action to protect human lives that are now at risk and abandonment by the executive order of January 27th. I will share with you a few faces and stories of these victims of war and try to speak for the countless other children who come to us in urgent need of medical treatment. Since its founding in 1990, the House of Peace has welcomed hundreds of refugees representing more than 30 countries. Together we share a safe, secure, healing sanctuary and an enlivening community. We ask today, will the door remain open to all these suffering people? During the past 10 years, we have centered our work in partnership with the Iraqi Children's Project and many Boston hospitals on offering secure and healing hospitality to children coming for urgently needed medical treatment. Each child is accompanied by a parent or guardian. Most children have come from war zones in the Middle East. All have severe, sometimes life-threatening injuries and illnesses, and all have suffered through the traumas and the tragedies of war. Several children have come whose survival has been due to the intervention even of an American soldier who, in the chaos of combat, has encountered such a wounded child. Will the door remain open for such children, even for the soldiers who have brought them to us? The first little girl we ever received was baby Mariam, who came from Fallujah in Iraq. It was Navy medic Christopher Walsh who was stunned by her suffering, and in first encountering her, we are told, put down his gun and picked up this child, this baby Mariam. Christopher was later killed in the unending war in Iraq, but baby Mariam survived. She came to us, had surgery, healed, spent many beautiful weeks at the House of Peace, and returned with her family to Iraq. Now Miriam of Fallujah, Iraq, victim of depleted uranium poisoning, is in need of more medical treatment. Senators and staff, I must ask you, will you act to open that door for her again? 2 Iraqi children, victims of car bombings, lived with us 2 years ago. Yusuf, 12 years old, lost his right arm and right leg. Zahar, age 7, lost both her legs. Will the door be open for them to return for the continued medical treatment that they need? Will other children devastated by similar catastrophic injuries find an open door for the life-saving medical care they need? Will these children and their families, fleeing the terror of war, continue to find themselves labeled as terrorists? Will this be the message of America to their world? Last year, 2 young girls from Syria and Iraq, burning injuries and illnesses were theirs, too horrific to describe. They came to us and were surrounded by school children who every day would come and play with them and do art projects with them. What does the executive order banning children from 7 forbidden countries mean to those school children? They ask us, will Abrar and Noor and Sophia die? Or will they grow up and heal and continue to live a beautiful life? Why don't people care anymore? Senators and staff, we ask you to help us answer the questions of these children who are so deeply disturbed by these incredible problems. Please let them know the door is open. Ours is a journey toward moral awakening, joined by veterans of war who have experienced the carnage of children trapped in war, and by peacemakers striving for the abolition of war. We name this ban, this wall, these executive orders illegal, immoral. We label them cruel and criminal. In recent days, we have even asked the question, the unthinkable question, is the United States any longer a safe country for refugees? It forces us to ask ourselves in the most honest way possible, if the refugee is no longer safe in America, then who is? Security is not in opposition to compassion. I have learned this from Mariam, Zahar, Yusuf, and all others. In our compassion lies our true security. Behind each child we serve, there is a long line of other trembling, traumatized, wounded children waiting for help. At the House of Peace right now is Dakil, whose name is Arabic for the one seeking God's help. He arrived from his refugee camp in Iraq with a leg shattered by an injury due to the hazardous conditions in the camp of 18,000 people. If he had come 48 hours later, on January 27th, would he have been turned away? We ask, will the door be closed to Dakil, Dilbereen, others? It is up to you, to all of us, to answer that important question. For there is a ban and other bans still to be ordered. Walls, all kinds of walls being constructed. We know, I am sure, within the conscience of each one here today and those we represent, we know what we must do. And so I beg you, I beseech you, let the children and their families come. It is our universal calling to uphold the real law of the land, the law of love, for in the end, love is the only solution. It is our universal human calling from ages past, and in this present moment of moral awakening, which we have seen arising across this land and across the world. The prophet Isaiah gives us the courage to know how to redeem these times. Hide those who have been driven out. Do not let the refugee be persecuted. Let those who have been driven out stay with you. Be their refuge against the destroyer. Once the oppression is over and the destroyer is no more, and those now trampling the country underfoot have gone away, the throne will be made secure in gentleness, and on it there will sit in all faithfulness a judge careful for justice, a judge eager for integrity.